Okay, we're back for the tentative part 4 of this video because I got interrupted again. But in this part, I'm continuing off where I left off, where I was talking about her hair. She took the wig off. She had been wearing a long purple straight-haired wig the whole film. And that's how you saw her hair the whole time. And this attribute about her, she took it off. And you got to see what her natural hair looked like. And she cut the strands of the wig that was sewn in off. And he thought she was amazing. For some of you, your God-ordained spouse likes you as you. You don't need the wigs, you don't need the weave, you don't need the hair, you don't need any of that. They like you as who you are. Now, in my case, I love my natural hair. I used to use the locks because of the fact that honestly, I don't like doing my hair that often. And it's a protective style in wintertime. You don't got to keep putting water on your hair. And it's protective. So it protects the hair and the hair cuticle. And that's a good thing. You shouldn't wear it too much. And it also helps the hair grow because you ain't messing with it. I love my hair. I love wearing my natural hair. But if you're doing things professionally, it can be a lot if you have people in your hair. Another thing, remember the video I talked about hair? You don't want people that don't have the spiritual attributes to be touching all up in your head, because that can bring about spiritual confusion if the spirit on them ain't right. It's the truth. You have to go back and look at the video on hair, but the hair and spiritual warfare. So when it comes to me personally, I can go with the hair, without the hair. I can do weave, I can do my natural, I can do a wig, I can do what have you. Sometimes I'll put on a wig that looks like my hair because of the fact that it takes a lot, even for this kind of style, to twist it up the way that it is. It has that natural look, natural lock look, and I like that. But do you know how long it takes to do this? When you're standing in the mirror, washing it from fresh to getting it styled. Sometimes I have to take a break to make sure that the hair. It took me about 3 days to do this because I had to take a break in between the twisting process because, for one, I've injured my dominant hand. So what normally would have taken me a certain amount of time, my hands get tired a lot faster because they literally hurt when I use them. And so it's easier for me if I can go through the process of taking one shot and doing my braids or doing the lock mix I had with the red hair. I'm gonna do that because I can leave that in about 2-3 weeks. The only real reason you can leave those kinds of styles, depending on how you're treating it, you can leave that in anywhere from a month to 6 to 8 weeks if you're going in and washing it. The dye I used was a temp dye, and I'll tell you that temp dye, naturally when you put it in, it does not smell that fragrantly nice. Two, if you leave it in for the length that you want your hair to be that color, it's going to smell after a while. So you're going to have to wash it anyway after about 2-3 weeks, because the actual temp color smells. But yeah, loving your natural hair, I like my natural hair. And in all actuality, the looks can be deceiving. My hair is here when I pull it straight. But my hair is probably, if I were to have it straightened, it's probably underneath my breastbone. And the back's probably even longer than that, because I had somebody straighten my hair before. So my natural hair it's always been long. Even when I was perming my hair, it was long. But without the messing of the hair, but your God ordained spouse is gonna love you as you are. You're not gonna need to do the colors and the beads and all that kind of stuff, but you don't need all that. They gonna love you in your naturalist of natural state, which in a way it lets you off the hook of forcibly trying to make yourself get all this makeup, hair, all this kind of stuff. Granted, there's a place for that. If you're doing business, there might be a place for you to do that. And that might be the thing, be the case, but know that you are safe and secure in your relationship with the person that you're going to be with. They're going to love you in whatever state that you're in. Actually, the Lord had to really talk to me about my God ordained spouse in relation to the hair thing, because I used to be concerned. It's like, what about it? And it's funny because the person I'm talking about has natural hair, so it's one of the number one reasons I like the person. And it ain't about their hair. It's the fact that you don't see very many guys do that are very comfortable with their hair in those particular positions that a person's in. But they're going to love every element of you. You know what I'm saying? So she was happy with that. So she went out with him to go out to eat, and they went in to enjoy at a restaurant that was doing karaoke, and she teased him to go up on stage and try to sing this karaoke song. He actually went up there and sang it. I forgot whether it was "Can You Stand the Rain." It was some old R&B song that he went up there and sang. You're going to enjoy your relationship. You're going to be able to take them out of their comfort zone, and they will do stupid stuff for you. And they'll be able to push you outside of your comfort zone, even in a silly manner. And some of your silliness is going to lead to them discovering certain elements about you that most people don't know. Whether it's your singing, whether it's other little talents that you comfortably can do in front of them. But it may be a bit of a struggle to take it beyond comfortably doing in front of them. But it's your comfort zone. They discover certain things about you, and you'll discover certain elements about them creatively and artistically and all of this kind of stuff that it'd be like, oh. So next, he coaxed her to get up there and sing. And when she got up there, she decided to sing the song Black Butterfly again. And it had been a long time since she had sang it since she was a kid. And she sang it on that stage. Even with the emotional tears that it brought back to her about being at that talent show that day. There are things about your God-ordained spouse's past a lot of people don't acknowledge. They want to push down. There may even be things that have happened that they just don't want the people around them just don't want them talking about, exposing, or getting off of their chest. That they will be more comfortable to open up, not just to you, but to the rest of the world about, because of the fact that you made them feel comfortable to expose themselves to that level. And she sang the song. Everybody ended up cheering at the end, and she went back to the hotel with him, and they had their time of fun together. And I believe it was the next day. Somebody comes knocking on the door, and it's like, I don't know whether the press had just followed the mother there or what it was, because had nobody knocked on the door, but the second she opened it, wrapped in a towel, it was the mother and about enough paparazzi with cameras to surround the door entrance. And the mother came in. She was like, how you think that you was going to do that and wasn't nobody going to see you or identify you? And she's like, come on, let's go do this. And she's like, I don't want to leave. And she's like, you got obligations. You got this, that, and the other. She's like, what obligations? The album, the company don't want me. I messed up the performance, all this kind of stuff. She's like, get over it. I'm going to work this out. She's like, you're going to work this out. She's like, yes, I'm going to work this out for you because they want to bring you back in. They saw the performance and they want you back. And they will negotiate. And I understand what's going on now. I will help you. She's like, I want my own song on that album. And she's like, I can arrange that. And she's like, you really going to arrange for me to get my music on that album? She said, yeah, I can arrange that. It's like, you have the power to make the decision in this particular case because people are begging for you. And actually, not just the record company that you're under is begging for you. There are other companies that want you right now. So, can we go? I am your manager. I will negotiate this for you. Plus, you are my daughter. I can make this happen. But she was really there for the arrangement of the deal. So they went in for the meeting, and the record company sitting up there like, we want you, we want this album, we will press this album and we'll get it out. And she's like, okay, yes. But the mother's like, wait, she wants her song on there. And she's shocked that she actually stepped up for her case. And she's like, she wants a song on the album. And she was like, yeah, she wants her song on the album. So because she wants a song on the album, we are going to demand it. It's like, well, we don't have time. The record's already pressed and this, that, and the other. We can't add another new track. Then that means that we got to reprint the record and all this type of stuff. And she pulls out a contractual agreement that was sent by one of the managerial team after the performance had happened, stating that they were discontinuing the contract with her because she was too much of a risk. And they're like, well, technically we no longer belong to this company, and the fact that there are multiple other companies, due to the fact of seeing this viral video, that want her, we don't have to stay here. One, your God-to-day spouse is potentially about to come into a contractual agreement that is going to leave them at a point of needing to make a contractual decision that could drastically shift the direction of their career. If they stay where they are in whatever capacity of whatever position, job, corporate position, entertainment position, whatever it is, whatever the position is, this contractual agreement could literally shift if they take it or choose not to. And it gives them a level of leverage that they have to determine that they need. And this is going to happen because of something that you led them into doing when they were being themselves. A lot of celebrities, a lot of people that are in high power positions want to separate themselves from their business because it makes them more of a target, and it's more of a talkative element about them if they're being talked about their personal life. So, but in a way, you're going to open them up to a degree where people are going to be able to see a part of them that they weren't used to being shown to the rest of the world. And it's going to open up opportunities for them because the Lord is going to say, you be more you. I will open up more things for you, but you're going to have to choose, what do you want to do? So they end up, I believe they went with a contract. And she thought that her mother actually was going to fight for her all. And she went home and they were talking a couple days later. And the mother said, I know we did that, but yeah, I think it's best that we just go on ahead and make sure that this album comes out. And she's like, but you said that my song could go in there. She's like, the album's already pressed. Why even go through all that? She said, because this is me. This is it's like, you never see me. There are people in your God-ordained spouse's life that will manipulate them to the nth degree to make them feel like they matter, just to make sure that that buck is paid. But when they show themselves to this person, they always end up being or feeling like, you never see me. You for y'all that have been sitting up there concerned about the counterfeit people that have been in their life, this is the problem with the counterfeits. The counterfeits never saw them. The counterfeits didn't understand them. The counterfeits had no understanding of what it was that was going on in their life to the real reality degree. You have to ask yourself, when you see celebrities like Tamar Braxton and all of this, people that you see either doing something, ending their life, attempting to end their life, what was going on in their personal life that would make them get to that point. Because a lot of these people did not feel seen. It's not about being seen here. It's about being seen as a person. Do you see me as me? Do you see me as the person and not as the voice? And celebrities have the big issue of people not seeing them past the clothes, the cars, the music videos, the women, the chains, the jewelry, whatever it is. They aren't seen past that. They just are a product that wears all of that. That people are trying to consistently throw, here, let me give you these clothes. Here, let me do this. Here, I'm going to give you this for free. Here. Here. But they're getting all this, but if they don't position themselves correctly, just like I said before, what impact are you making? And if you don't determine that, I did a podcast on this. I'm going to see what I can do about seeing if I can get do the links from my old podcast about some of these issues, because I talk about this stuff that understanding, they want to be heard, because you think that they're being heard because they're, oh look, they're on this, they're doing that, they're doing what have you. You ain't hearing them. You're hearing the song that the record label wants. And I have heard musicians say out their own mouth, the executives that sit in that boardroom, that listen to the music in that meeting, that makes a determination as to which record and album track comes together. Ain't none of the people listening to that music. They weren't even listening to it when they were listening to the music. They were only listening. It's like, is this going to be popular? Is it going to make the charts? Is this going to raise the numbers? Is this going to... Any of y'all seen the movie Dreamgirls? One of the main scenes is towards the end when Jamie Foxx is telling Eddie Murphy's character, is this track ain't gonna be popular, because everybody's talking about activism and political rights right now. We need the tracks that gonna make money. Sometimes having a voice and bringing attention to the problem is not financially lucrative to companies. So they're not going to listen to you. So to see a person that wants to express their feelings in a track, if the sound of the track ain't comfortable to the company, they're going to be like, this ain't comfortable to us. We've already slated your image to be this. What do you do? It's about them finding who they are in the state that they're in now. And people aren't listening. So when she came to this realization, she finally got fed up. The people in your God ordained spouse's life, they're going to get fed up with them, and they're going to just say, I need you to go. I need you to leave, because you are no longer serving me where I am right now. I can't with you anymore because you're stifling me. And that's what she does. She tells her mom, I can't have you as my manager anymore because you're no longer listening to me. And she's like, what do you mean you can't have me as your manager? She's like, because you ain't listening to me no more. So I'm going to have to go find me another manager. She fires her mother as a manager, and they agree to continue the contract with her, and she gets the new song written and manages to get the agreement to have it pressed to be put on the record. But what ends up happening is she has the concert that she's supposed to do some other song, and she says, you know what? Nope. She's preparing to go out on stage. they got her in her makeup and all of this. And she's preparing to go up there. And I believe she doesn't have a wig on at this point. She's in all her natural hair. And she comes out into the hall. And she sees him. He was waiting in the hallway. And they talk for a brief moment because they're rushing her out to get on stage. And when she gets up there, she tells the people, the song that they told you that I was going to do tonight, I'm not doing that one. And she does her own song. And she begins to sing it and so on and so forth. It's her rendition of what Black Butterfly meant to her. So don't judge a book by its cover. For some of you, I don't care what it is, your god ordained spouse, female, male, celebrity, or architect, whatever it is, from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum. I've named multiple career elements that these men or females could be in, and everything in between. But they have an element about them that people are not paying attention to. And they want to be heard, which is reminding me. I remember I had rented a DVD from the library several years ago. It was called Be Heard. It was about poetry. And it was a bunch of teenagers from my local city that we saw the last of their senior year and their experiences and how they used their writing to get them through that season. This is the funniest thing about being a creative. If you're creative and an artist, your assumption is, if I go into a career field where I'm able to be more creative, then I will be able to be more open, more free, speak my mind, do all of these types of things. But sometimes being in those career fields, especially comparative to independent to label, independent film to movie film office house, whatever it is, it's a element to these things that you don't have the freedom the higher you get. Even career names, the lower level celebrities have more freedom in their celebrity than the ones that are known publicly. And then you go to the royal level where you have royalty. And what ends up happening is you find that it's even more confusion. What Meghan Markle and Harry expressed about their experience towards the end of them living with the rest of the royal family, wouldn't nobody expect that from people at that level of echelon? But it's almost like the higher you get, the tighter the restrictions and the strap around your neck gets. You can do less and less and are less and less free. But if you're out and you're doing things independently of what is the quid pro quo known thing, that's where you have the ability to shine the most and be the most free. I know one thing that I have always been pursuing, and that's freedom. And it's funny because I was thinking about this last night. Freedom versus free will. Free will is preparing you for death. The part of you is going to have to die to operate in your free will. But freedom allows you to fly because you're being free.